And what is up, awesome people? In today's video, I'm going to share with you one of the best RC drift cars right out of the box, and this is from BMHobby FR Legends, the BMRX-FLD S13. Now this is a 128 scale RC drift car, and you've most probably seen its predecessor, which is the Chibi style AE86, and also this S13 is one of the Chibi style body cover. For your information, Chibi means small in Japanese. And in this sense, Chibi style means super deformed. Now on the box itself, it does show you some aftermarket body kits that's included in the box. It also shows you a different type of configuration that you can do with the chassis. And check out that steering angle, and it actually gives you that crazy steering angle, especially for drifting. Now I've heard and seen so much about these FLD RC drift cars, and I was so curious that I just absolutely had to buy one myself. Right out of the box, we have the basic setup guide, and this is just a short guide to get you started immediately. But there is a QR code that you can actually download to get the full manual online, but it is in Chinese. Included is the transmitter or the radio. Now, not many people actually mention this few buttons that's like in the middle of that radio, but it is actually the DIP for ESC settings. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I've actually checked it online, and it actually shows that these are the settings for the ESCs of the car. Also included in the box is the battery charger and a spare motor, an extra set of rims. These looks even nicer than the ones that's put on the car. I seem to recall a YouTuber who did a review on this car, and he was trying to replace the wheels. I quite liked his video, as his video is very entertaining and the way that he presents them was really good. And looking at the car itself, this is again 128 scale RC drift car, and it has the magnetic bumpers for you to replace the aftermarket body kits, a spare chassis for you to create a display version, some rubber wheels. Now looking at the chassis itself, it comes with this 350 milliamp LiPo. And do note that this LiPo is slightly different from the standard LiPo, as it doesn't really have that connector that usually comes with the LiPo. So make sure you choose the option with extra batteries. Even the balance connectors are a totally different pin altogether. Now the chassis itself is pretty fixed. Some springs to allow the wheels some movement and absorption. The only adjustable part is the toe-in for the rear. One thing I love about this particular chassis is the fact that it has some really crazy angles for drifting. It's got a tiny servo placed right in the middle of the car where it actually steers the car directly. And if you're like me, who's very curious about these body mounts that looks very suspiciously like the Mini Z body mounts, let me show you. This is the AE86 body cover from my first Mini Z, and if you notice, the mount is exactly the same. It actually fits the FLD chassis, but that front part of the car, that Mini Z style mount that fits onto the front, is not exactly similar. The only way you might be able to get it to fit is to replace the part of the Mini Z onto this one. So the Mini Z front mount is slightly higher to that of the FLD. Also, it's got a slightly wider space as compared to the FLD mount. Of course, with a few modifications here and there, it could be made to fit really nice. Also, the FLD S13 has got the option to add the LED lights. Although it is not included in the kit, you can actually purchase them off on the site. It has all the necessary electronics all ready to plug in, including the positioning for the LEDs on the body cover. Another thing that you should actually take note of is that the wheels of this FLD S13 is totally different to that of any 128 scale or 124 scale RC car. It's got its own proprietary style rims and wheels that are totally different from the standard ones like the Kyosho Mini Z, including that of the WL Toys K969 series. The front and rear rims of the car are fitted differently. The front is fitted with a nut and the rear is fitted with an Allen screw. The other rims that's included with the car looks much cooler than the ones that's fitted on the car. That's for sure. Also, these body kits are magnetic, where you could actually change the outlook of the car to have it as stock looking as possible, or to let it out with some fierce body kits to give that tuned look. Now there's this one tiny plastic piece that's included in the kit. This is actually the spoiler for the rear windscreen where you're supposed to stick it on, but you need to get some glue to fit it onto the rear of the windscreen. This FLD S13 also has a built-in gyro that is also adjustable on the transmitter itself. Another thing I love about this car is the fact that the chassis could be adjusted in its wheelbase from 90mm to 107mm. Also, the track width range could be adjusted with those aftermarket wheels to get it a wider offset, and those are available on the website. Well, that is about it for the FLD S13, and what's left is just to drive it. I'm going to be driving it in its stock configuration, so I'm not going to add any body kits or things like that. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Well, I really love how the way this FLD S13 moves out of the box. And just so you know, there are upgrade parts to make this S13 much better. Aluminum parts to adjust the camber and the toe of the wheels, battery size adjustment, tire width. Well, the list goes on, so just check it out in the links down below. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And till the next one, thank you all for watching and see you guys again soon. Ciao.